Hello there guys, and welcome back to Sid Meier's Civilization 5 in what should probably be the final episode of this series. Unless I manage to make some epic misplays, we should be able to go and roll over the Incans and take their capital. We have our carrier now, which appears to have wings, but that's just how the models stack. I'll be using that to take out Vilcus, as I said in the last video, simply because I just like to demonstrate how the bombers work. In all the videos I've done for Civilization, I've never really showed off the use of any sort of planes or anything. So I would like to do that. I will probably do more Civilization series in the future. People have been asking me. I will probably try and do another series where I cover a diplomatic victory, because that's the one victory type that I haven't done yet. I will also probably try and do another domination victory at some point, but go for one that is a little bit more land unit orientated, so I can try and show off some of the units. What I may do on that particular game is play at an easier difficulty level, not one that's stupidly easy, but play at an easier difficulty level just so that I can take my time and max out the tech tree, just literally to show off all of the different units. That said, nothing there to deal with. You obviously dealt with that in the last video. I'll probably be doing some Age of Wonders stuff after this particular series, so it'll be of a similar genre, but a bit of a different game. Mongolia want an embassy. Not going to make any difference about anything. So we're only a couple of turns away from having another social policy or ideological tenant. Doesn't really make a lot of difference to us here. Lost whales from Ragusa. And an enemy is near. Election rigged. And those are friendlies. Or what's that? Is that Incan? Oh yeah, both of those Incan. Well, Zanzibar and Vancouver should be able to deal with those. There's certainly enough Zanzibar privateers around to deal with them, surely. Yep, and Zanzibar get themselves a free privateer for doing so, I think. And worst case scenario, we do still have a couple of battleships around if we need to get involved and help with some of these. Okay, so first of all, enemy spotted. Okay, you've gone. You're out of the way. Don't need to worry about you. Not too bothered about that or any of those things. Submarine has had an upgrade, so let's give you Wolfpack, just because I really like Wolfpack. Assign delegates. Well, choose host. We do have the most votes. We're actually halfway towards a a diplomatic victory here, but it's not what we are playing for. We won't get it anyway. Okay, what are we going to do? First thing we're going to do, actually, is we're going to nip off. Should I be using you to do anything useful? I'm just totally losing my chain of thought today. So, right, let's just bomb these land units because it's fun. I was going to say I can't believe that didn't completely destroy them, but it did. What's going on over here? Oh, well, you can deal with that. I'll let you sort that out. That's not a problem. So, we want to take this place out. Well, more importantly, I just want to hit it with bombers. Our bombers from London didn't quite have the range to reach it. We've got 2 bombers here. And as you can see, they don't quite have the range because they're limited to a range of 6. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hexes away, which is very annoying. So what we want to do is take the aircraft that are stationed on our carrier, and we can use them to bomb the city. Now, they will take damage because cities can fire back at aircraft. And as it says there in the yellow text, interception by fighter or anti-air will boost damage or boost damage. No, it is no. Boost damage. So there are 2 things you can do to try and counter against bombers. You can either have anti-aircraft sort of land units. Anti-aircraft land units don't have to be in the hex that's being attacked. They have a range. So, for example, there could be an anti-aircraft gun placed here, and if I tried to bomb the city, the anti-aircraft gun would automatically take a shot. Now, as well as having bombers, which can be used to bomb ground targets, including ships, land units, and cities, you also have fighters. Now, fighters can be used to patrol an area, which means that they will automatically intercept any bombers that are coming in, or other fighters, or you can use fighters to try and set off somebody else's anti-air first and clear the anti-air and fighters out before you send your bombers in. So we're going to attack with our bombers. I mean, these bombers are pretty weak. They're only great war bombers, and once you start getting the stealth bombers, they have a much better range and they do a lot more damage. But oh, that's the carrier. Let's get the other bomber. Now, of course, once you've got the bombers in the city, if you get them to rest up, they will recover damage. They're not doing a great deal there. I'm going to use this guy to take out this caravel, because it looked at me funny. We are going to take another shot over here at Vilcus, because why not? Still a little distance away from actually getting anybody close enough to take it. I'm going to move these Great War Infantry around. Hopefully they... Oh, I've got the privateer there, so that's not a problem. So, the next plan is to try and take out Cusco. Now, they do still have a few boats around, but we can do that. We can get here. We're still quite safe from this place. 1, 2. Right, it can't fire to here. It can't quite reach the hex that we're on, which is good, because that means we can fire at this privateer and sink it. We are going to move up now. You have double attack and a stupid range. So we're going to move you up over here. You're going to take a shot at this privateer, which should sink it quite nicely. You're also going to take another shot at these guys, which makes some more space for the other guys. Now, which ones of you have the range? You have the range. Now, we do have a little bit of a problem. And that main problem is... This is a very, very well-defended area, because they've literally got this little bay, which is very difficult to get units into. I could shoot at their great engineer, but it does seem like a little bit of a waste. He's not really going to be able to do anything, so why bother? You should get a... Do you get a double shot? No, you're out of moves. So, do we have any other ships with the extra range? You have the extra range. Now, we move you over here. You may be able to shoot over the hill. Yep, you do, because you have the indirect fire, and other ships can see. So even though there's a hill here in the way, because we've got the indirect fire upgrade, we can actually shoot over the hill because this ship can see it. So that's a very useful thing to have. I mean, obviously all of these ships have indirect fire. And of course they all have a range of 3, which I must stop forgetting. They all have a range of 3 because they're battleships now. So even you can park there. You can shoot over the hills because you've got indirect fire, and you are still out of the range of the city. You have the range of 4, which means I can park you over here. And you're out of unit, so you can't do anything. And you also have logistics and a range of 4 as well. So you should be able to shoot from there. And you get a double shot. So instantly, Cusco is taking a massive amount of damage here. Yeah, they're not all that well defended. We also have a Great Admiral, which is kind of pointless. But we will move you up and forwards. Okay, what else needs to move? You have a movement left, but we're just going to skip that. And then we have you guys, which I completely forgot about. What am I going to do with you? Probably not anything at all, really. We'll just fire at some of their other cities just for fun, I think. Just because we can. And they're out of range, so they're safe. They're not going to come to any harm at all. We have a sub up here, which isn't doing an awful lot. So I'll just get it to scout around, because you never know, you might find something you can hit. So we can park here, and we can take a shot at you. Also noticing now that they have another privateer up here as well, which we're going to have to deal with at some point. And we have the carrier, and of course the carrier isn't going to move. The carrier is just going to sit on alert, and you... We could upgrade you to a cannon now. Seems a bit pointless, but why not? And we'll just put you on do nothing. And wow, I've got a lot more submarines than I thought I was going to have. Yerevan is on our side. I don't think there are any other enemy units around, but we'll have a scout. That's Sweden. They're not really a problem. No, it all seems good, and you're going to just sit tight as well. And we've got these great war bombers here that can't really do anything. We could try and rebase them somewhere closer, but I don't actually have anywhere that's within 6 hexes of of any of their cities really to bomb. You can't base them at city-states, which is a little bit of a shame. I could get a carrier up here, or I could also nab one of their other cities, but there aren't really many cities that are within 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could grab Machu, for example, and base them there, but the other thing with moving bombers around is that their rebase range is normally double. I think it's double their operational range. Yeah, so we could rebase to York. We could rebase to Edinburgh. Yeah, because the idea behind it is that if it has a range of 6, it can travel 6 hexes out, drop its bombs, and travel 6 hexes back. So technically, the bomber has enough fuel to move 12 hexes, but it can only attack 6 hexes away because it needs enough fuel to get back. If it's transferring between 2 cities, it can travel 12 hexes because it's not making the return journey. But it would still be very difficult to actually get a bomber from one of our cities over to here without either leapfrogging it from city to city or putting them on a carrier. So I'm not even going to bother trying to do that. Why? Why do you want to open borders? You're the lowest score player on the map and I'm steamrolling everybody. There's absolutely no point whatsoever. I think at the end of the last video, I didn't really realise how much I was just going to steamroll Cusco with my battleships. Oh, we're being denounced by Sweden. I could have probably just finished the victory on the end of the last video, because this might happen rather quickly. But still, yes, as people have been asking, Age of Wonders is a game that I have been playing recently. I'm enjoying it quite a lot. It is a lot more combat focused than Civilization. I mean, I think Civilization 5 is an absolutely amazing game, but the good thing with Civilization is it does give you a lot of different victory types. There are a lot of ways to play. You can be quite passive, but then you look at other games like Age of Wonders and like Warlock, and they're very, very combat focused. And even though they may have multiple victory conditions like Warlock does, they are still pretty much centered around combat. But the good thing is, unlike Warlock, I mean, Warlock is based very much on the Civilization 5 engine. And because of that, the combat itself is quite weak. I mean, let's be honest, combat is probably one of the weakest parts of Civilization 5. And that's been pretty much directly copied in Warlock. I mean, yes, Warlock does have the spells and things, which is quite nice, but you've still got this 1 unit per hex limited movement combat system. Whereas something like Age of Wonders, you can actually put multiple units in a single hex, and you've got bigger armies, and you've got much more variety of the sort of battles you can have. So it actually makes the fighting fun. So I'll definitely be covering that very, very soon on the channel. I probably won't play Warlock 2. I haven't actually bought it, mainly because from what I've seen of it, it's just far too similar to the first Warlock, and I really don't see the point, to be honest. Okay, looks like we got the max votes as we assumed that we would. A few people have also asked me if I will be covering Civilization Beyond Earth. Probably. I think I'd like to, but considering the only things that anyone knows about the game so far is a teaser trailer that is all made up of CGI and 3 screenshots, it's very, very difficult to say how good the game is going to be, and obviously it's not even out for probably a good half a year yet, but we shall see. It's certainly likely to be the type of game that I would play, so providing when it comes out it isn't a complete and utter flop, there is a very good chance that I will be playing it. So let's adopt a policy, not as if there is any point doing so. We could just put in another low-level tenant. There's not really a lot of point. Happiness, yeah, just whatever. Just pick something to make the pop-up go away, because that's all we need to do. Cusco is about to get flattened, so let us just finish taking this city just because we can. I'm not going to attack with the bombers if I don't have to. I'm just going to try and take this out using the battleships, because they should be able to do that quite nicely, which they can, and then we can move this privateer in and actually capture this. Not bothered about happiness at this point, of course, because Let's just create a puppet. Not bothered about happiness, because literally all we have to do is take the last city and we've won. But because of that, we'll put these guys on... well, let's get you over here. We'll put these guys to sleep. And then we can actually take our carrier and we can move the carrier up here and attack from behind Cusco. And that's as far as we can get in a single turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are out of range of Cusco, which is a little bit of a shame. Looks like Zanzibar mopped up their income problem at their end. Now, we did see that they had some units around here, although they do seem to have moved them out. I'm not sure where they actually moved them out to. They have a great admiral. Unfortunately, I'm just slightly out of range to do anything about that, but at least I know where they are now and where they're heading. So let's continue to fire at Cusco. We might as well. We've certainly got enough enough firepower here to do it. I can literally take it down to 0 on this turn. So let's fire at their great engineer a little. You're going to move up here because it's nice and safe, and you're going to go to sleep. Not an awful lot I can do with you two, so you're just going to sit there and go to sleep. And what I have forgotten to do, which I won't be able to do anything unless I do, is to take this ironclad, because we're going to need something in order to try and take the city. Hopefully it's going to be strong enough to take it out. You guys were firing at Cologne, just for the fun of it. Even if I gave it back to Germany, they'd probably still hate me. A unit needs orders. Okay, these bombers. Now, the bombers are slightly out of range. So what I can do is I can get them to skip a turn. Now, some people always ask the difference between fortify until healed and skipping a turn. What you've got to remember is the way that healing works in Civilization, with the exception of ships, because ships can only heal if they are in friendly territory. But the way healing works with units is if they don't do anything on a turn, they will heal. So, skipping a turn when you're at low health, you will still heal. Fortifying will heal as well, because you're not doing anything on those turns. The difference between a fortify and a fortify until healed basically means if you fortify until healed, as soon as you reach max health, you'll get a message saying that the unit needs orders. And if you just put them on fortify, they'll stay fortified until they get attacked or you do something with them. So if I put it on fortify until healed, I won't get a pop-up for them. I'm just going to tell them literally to do nothing and just get their health back. That's all I need to do with them. You don't need to do anything now. These great wall bombers, I'm just going to put them to sleep because there isn't really a lot of use for them right now. I can't see an awful lot going on around here, so we'll just continue to fire at Leventa's troops. I'm not sure that they're actually being attacked by anybody, but we'll just keep shooting at them anyway. These guys, again, we'll just put them on rested mode. I'm not too sure what you're doing. I think you were just scouting around to see if there were any random units. So those mine. I've obviously got some automated workers that are doing something. I'm not sure what it is they're trying to do, where they're off to, what they think they're doing. Maybe possibly heading over to Turfen here. I'm not quite sure. And that great war bomber is also going to do nothing and get some heals in. And this battleship is going to have another shot at you because you have two turns. And you're not going to do anything because we don't want you to move. And we're going to go on to the next turn. Brilliant. So going back to Civilization Beyond Earth, one thing you do have to remember is that if we look at Civilization 5 as an example, even though it's an absolutely brilliant game now, when it first came out in its vanilla form, it wasn't all that well received. It was a little bit buggy. Some of the victory types were a little bit weird, like the Domination victory. So the Domination victory used to be, instead of capturing and holding all of the other civilizations' capitals, you only had to be the last civilization remaining to hold your own capital. Now, if you think about it, that was quite silly because it meant you could win a Domination victory by doing nothing. Imagine if you had 3 players, player 1, player 2, and player 3. Player 1 captures player 2's capital. Player 2 captures Player 1's capital. Player 3 wins, because Player 3 is now the only person who has his original capital, and probably never even met Player 1 and 2. So that was a little bit of a strange thing, so they got rid of that. They also changed the cultural victory conditions, because the way you used to get a cultural victory was you had to max out, I can't remember if it was 4 or 5, you had to max out 4 or 5 social policy trees. And once you'd maxed out the 4 or 5 trees, you'd get a little button to build the Utopia project, which took X number of turns depending on how much production you had. Once the Utopia project was built, that was it. Cultural victory. Obviously, they've changed that now and added the tourism in. And then they've added things such as the religion system, which was added in Gods and Kings, and then they've got the trade route system that was added in Brave New World. Plus those 2 expansions added tons more civilizations, not to mention there's also been a few DLC packs that have added more as well. So the game now is considered to be very, very good, very, very popular and very, very enjoyable. But the original Civilization 5, yeah, that it certainly did have its problems at the time. So let's just hope that Civilization Beyond Earth learns from that, and we don't end up with a game that requires 2 or 3 updates and patches to be able to be considered a good game, because that would be quite a shame. Let's see if we can take Cologne and give it back to Germany, just to see what happens. This is probably going to be where I lose my ironclad, although I don't technically think it's far enough to capture it anyway. Yeah, it's a little bit out of range. Can't do it on this turn, so let's not bother. Of course, we do have the carrier here now, so you can see these bombers have healed. We're going to move the carrier up over here, and then what we can do, in fact, we don't really need the bombers in order to take out Cusco, so we're just going to use them and drop on Leventa. Now Leventa's actually quite well armoured. You actually see the amount of damage that we took there is quite considerable, especially compared to what it was when we were attacking the other city that was down near London. We actually took quite a bit of damage from this. So yeah, these bombers aren't particularly effective against that. It'd be nice to get the upgrade so we could actually carry 4 aircraft, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. So it's not just going to let us end the turn, so I'm literally just going to get everybody to do nothing. Oh, wow. Guys, I found some boats. I mean, it's a submarine versus 6 privateers. I mean, they're going to have one hell of a flanking bonus on me. Can't really get anything round there to deal with them, to be honest. They're actually around the other side of the map, which is a little bit of a pain. I'm not terribly worried about them. They can't really do an awful lot of damage to me, so I think we'll leave things as they are. What are you guys doing? Are you guys doing anything useful? You just might as well just go and have a look and see what you can find. See if there's anything around you can shoot at, because that's what you do best. You might actually start making your way north and just going around to help deal with those privateers. And you are going to... What are you going to do? You're not doing anything useful either, are you? So you're going to go around there and start getting in a position to deal with those privateers as well. Oh, look, we found some more. They may be all just on their way over here to try and hassle these city-states. It's quite a possibility. So everybody else is just going to sit still. Can't quite take Cusco just yet, of course, because we are still trying to get our... what are you doing? We are still trying to get our ironclad over there. Did we move you? No, we haven't moved you yet, so we could certainly start heading you over here towards those guys. So they are going to be getting some problems real soon. And you can just go to sleep. We don't need you anymore. You can go on alert mode. We don't need you anymore. You want to give me some pointless stuff in exchange for a few gems. Not that it really makes any difference, but will you give me 5 gold? No, you won't. Will you give me 4 gold? You tight git. Will you give me 3 gold? Yes, fine. Not that I need it, with almost 500 gold per turn coming in, and it's not like I'm spending it on anything at the moment anyway. So, they've spotted my submarine. And they do have massive flanking bonuses. I'm not too sure how things work with submarine visibility, to be quite honest, because submarines are invisible, but I think if they're on an adjacent hex, they can be spotted. And Zanzibar's struggling a little here as well. And I have lost that submarine, which is a real pity, but it was expected. It was completely surrounded, and they had such a massive flanking bonus. So, okay, well, they have managed to take out one of those privateers. So, providing the turn ends and I remember what I'm doing. Okay, Leventa's still firing at their privateers, but it's not really too much of a problem. They have managed to nab one, I think. Okay, right, so let us do some stuff. The first thing no, I don't want to go down there. Right, who can fire upon what? You can fire upon these guys, and you should definitely do that. Okay, let's have a very quick look at what is going on over here, because it is getting into a bit of a mess. You are going to move forwards, and you are going to fire at that privateer there. You are going to move up to here, and you are going to fire at that privateer there. These bombers have had an upgrade. They're going to get additional siege versus cities, but apart from that, they're just going to fortify until healed. You have been destroyed, which we are quite aware of. Now, I did have some other ships that were working their way forward, but they are a little bit out of range. York has finished a great war bomber, which I'm not all that bothered about, so let's just go on to research. London has finished another carrier, so you're going to go on to research. That carrier is going to move out here, and we are going to rebase our 2 bombers onto it. Okay, that's that done. Right, what have we got? You guys can continue to fire on Cusco, though. You don't really need to. I'm certainly going to start firing at their units that they're trying to maneuver into position. Will you be safe there? Yes, you will. Let's double check. Should have double checked before I moved, which would have been a smarter thing to do, but they are safe there. Where is... Right, okay, let's do this. You are going to fire at Cologne. You are going to move into Cologne. You will take some damage, but it shouldn't be too heavy. You should still have enough health left to take the next city. We're going to liberate this back to Germany. Wonder what Germany thinks of us now. See, he still hates us. We've liberated some of their people. We've fought together against a common foe. We've shared intrigue with them. And we have an embassy in their capital. Admittedly, we did steal their capital, and we are a warmonger, and we did steal a lot of their technology, but that's fine. So, let us continue to move around here. We know that they have that is within range. We know they have a massive fleet of units over here, so we do have to be careful. Everybody else pretty much just do nothing for the time being, because we still need to move that ironclad down, which we will do soon. That is the carrier. You are going to start moving forwards, because we might well need you up here very shortly. You're going to do nothing now. What were we doing with you? You were just exploring, just to see if there was anything out here, although I don't think there is. You are doing nothing also. What else have we got? Great War Bomber is going to go to sleep. And everybody else is just going to go to sleep as well. I could just be ignoring a lot of these other units that are out and around the edges of the map. I mean, I could literally just take Cusco. I mean, it is literally 2 turns away now. It is as long as it takes for that ironclad to get to Cusco. So, not very long at all. Okay, you've moved forward. How much more movement do you have? You can move up to there and you can take out that privateer in a single turn. So that's what you're going to do. Okay, next turn. And already Mongolia and Germany are at war with each other. Not sure how long that's been going on because I wasn't really paying attention, but... So, the Incans want to make peace with me. No, that's not good. I'm 2 turns away from winning the game. Why would I want to make peace with you? Your capital is in ruins. Your navy is at the bottom of the ocean. I don't even think you have an army. It's the second time I've sunk their navy as well. because I think they started on me when I was fighting Mongolia or Spain. I know they got involved in one of the wars that I was fighting. Could have even been Austria. It was so long ago now, I actually can't remember. Okay, so we have this magically appearing privateer. What we're going to do is we're going to use you to sink the privateer because ho ho ho, it's so easy. They have a great general over here, which I don't remember anyone giving them permission for. So you're going to take a double bombarding. Didn't quite kill him, sadly. But you will. Bye-bye. Love how the generals just cry as they're being shot. So Cusco can go down to 0 health. Once again, nice and easy. How close can this ironclad get in a single turn? Can't quite get to it, so we're going to put it somewhere where it isn't going to get destroyed. And it can stay there until the end of the turn. Do we have any units up here that can scout around and deal with the income problem up here? Yes, we do. Are we going to? Yes, we are. Oh, wow. Can't believe that didn't actually sink it. We do have this other privateer here, which is about to get sunk also. I've got a feeling that a lot of these are the privateers that were up around here, and they've just, these two most assuredly are, they've just worked their way around. So everybody else, do nothing. There's nothing really that you can do for now. That's the Great War Bomber, which we don't really want to do anything with. Battleship, what are you doing? You were working your way around here looking for naval units to attack as well, weren't you? So let's just move over there. Oh, a Great Admiral. I wonder if we can catch up. Well, we should certainly be able to catch up with him, just given the stupid amount of movement that all of our ships have. What we can do now, of course, is we can actually use our Great War Bombers here, and we can use them to bomb enemy units. Now, of course, they can still fire back, which is a little bit of a shame. Look how little health that has left. That is ridiculous. But we will take a shot with the other one. It's really strange seeing these World War I biplane bombers on a sort of a modern era aircraft carrier. It's quite strange. But that's pretty much how bombers work. I think we are done messing around though before this video goes on for way too long. So, oh look, we found some barbarians. So, everybody, do nothing. Do nothing, do nothing, do nothing. Just do absolutely nothing. And on to the next turn. Maria Theresa has completed the Statue of Liberty. Look at that. Even at this stage in the game, Austria is still putting out wonders. Wow, that is a lot of privateers that's just appeared out of nowhere. Look at that. Unfortunately, they're a little bit too late to the party. They can't do anything with them at this point. So we'll just wait for the barbarians to finish their moves, and it is our turn. We've had a few promotions, but we don't even need them. We are simply going to fire at Cusco, get its health down to 0. I'm going to fire again because I like to make 100% sure. Sometimes it does have a little bit of health when it looks like it doesn't. It is now most certainly out of hit points. And in goes. We've already got the achievement, the pop-up there in the bottom corner on Steam.
The world has been convulsed by war. Many great and powerful civilizations.
So there we go. We have a domination victory. So I've now showed you guys 3 different victory types. We've done the scientific victory, which was the first one I did with the Celts. We did the cultural victory, which is the one I did with Germany, and we've done the domination victory with England. So I will try and do a diplomatic victory at some point, and then we'll do another domination victory using land units. But we'll probably have a little bit of a break from Civilization for a while and move on to Age of Wonders. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the series. It was a fantastic game. I enjoyed every minute of playing it, and next time it will definitely be on a higher difficulty because I think I steamrolled that. So guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.